Hey mama, welcome. Today, we will look at what your baby should be doing from 0 to 3 months old. It is an exciting time when lots of amazing changes happen. And our friends at pathway.org have made a special video for us to see. Remember, every baby develops at their own pace, so don't worry if your baby is not doing everything you see on this video. But if you are concerned, talk to your doctor. They can help by referring your baby to early intervention. Early intervention is a great resource for you to have. It will provide your baby the extra support they need to reach their full potential, and that is what we want. So let's get started. Hey mama, so in this video we are going to have a look at two 2-month-old babies. Both babies are side by side. However, baby number 1 on the left is developing at a regular pace, and baby number 2 on the right is having difficulties with development. Look at this position where babies are on their backs. In this position, baby number 1 can keep his head in the center. Baby number 2, however, his head is turned to the side and he doesn't seem to be able to bring it back center. Okay, well now have another look at baby number 1. This baby is able to find the toy. He's able to look at it and visually track it. Now check out baby number 2. He can find the object, but he has difficulty looking at it or tracking it as it moves across the room. Okay, now look at baby number 1's arms and legs. Baby number 1 is able to move his arms and legs against gravity. He is able to move them up and down at will. Now, if you take a look at baby number 2, you will see that baby number 2 is actually not moving his arms and legs, and he's rather inactive. Now we will look at the two babies on their sides as they go from one position to the other. Baby number 1 can roll with help. And look at his head, it's lifted. Baby number 2 can roll to his side and stay in that side position, but he's unable to use the muscles in his neck and his trunk to control that movement and position. Okay, again, now look at baby number 1 on the left. As he rolls into position, he is able to use all of the muscles in his neck, his back, and trunk to keep and move into that position. He has control over them and uses them to extend into his rollover. This is something that baby number 2 is having difficulty with, whereas baby number 1 is using all of his muscle groups to start movement. Okay, so now let's look at the babies while they're on their tummies. Baby number 2 on the right still holds that newborn positioning, but baby number 1 is able to lift his head, tuck his arms under, he's bending his legs, and he looks like he's really ready to take off, almost as if he's getting ready to crawl. Hey mama, this is one of the reasons why tummy time or having your baby on his or her stomach is so very important. Tummy time positions allow your child to practice moving these muscle groups. This allows them to become stronger and more powerful, and these muscle groups will now know how to move in coordination. Tummy time helps your baby prepare for the next set of skills they will need to begin moving. Okay, we will now look at baby number 1 and baby number 2 from laying on their backs into being assisted into a sitting position. As baby number 1 is being pulled up, you will see that he is able to control his head and his neck and keep the head and neck in the center. Baby number 2, however, is having difficulty controlling his neck and head. His head is tilted back as his body is being pulled forward. Okay, again, if we look at baby number 2, we will see that baby number 2 is having difficulty controlling his neck and head, his shoulders, and his trunk. He simply does not have good trunk control. And his little spine is not straight. Instead, the baby's spine is curved as he's being pulled up. Looking at baby number 1, you will see that baby number 1's ear and shoulders are in a straight line. And in this upward, upright position, baby number 2, however, cannot keep his body straight. Keep on looking at baby number 2 as the occupational therapist works to position him. It is clear to see that baby number 2 is having difficulty, and he needs support getting into his sitting posture. Now let's look as the occupational therapist completely changes both babies' positioning. The occupational therapist will now suspend both children in the air. This will allow us to see how they react and move against gravity. Look at the baby on the left, baby number 1, as the occupational therapist moves him in the air. Look at him, he straightens up, and the muscles in his neck, his head, his shoulder, his trunk help with positioning him and keeping him from flopping over. However, baby number 2 does not have the ability to lift his head and does not have the power in his muscles to activate them in this position. He cannot stiffen his body or use his arms and legs at will. Okay, now look again at the 2 babies as the occupational therapist tilts them forward. Baby number 1 automatically goes into a protective posture. Look at him as he moves his neck and head away from the surface. Baby number 2, however, does not have the muscle strength in his trunk that will allow him to sustain a protective posture as he is moved towards the surface. Baby number 2 could really use early intervention therapies to help him get ready for the next steps of his life. Now look at both babies as they move into a standing posture. Baby number 1's body lines up straight. However, baby number 2 needs maximum support to keep him held upright. Baby number 2 does not have any muscle activity to help him remain standing. This means that baby number 2 is not weight bearing. He cannot yet hold up any of his own weight. And if not corrected, therefore, he will have difficulties with his walking. Baby number 2 is an excellent candidate for early intervention occupational therapy services.